It's built a couple of 100 kilometers that way in South Africa. It's a massive contributor to the GDP and has created multiple new jobs in the sector. This is the world premiere of the VW Amarok, and I'm about to drive it. But first, can we talk about this color? Mid-blue metallic, they call it. And we've had to change locations because it's attracting too much attention, okay? People are stopping to check this car out, and I don't blame them. Now, usually when I do these sort of tours, I'm already quite familiar with the car, but I'm still drinking it in. I'm drinking in these LED lights over here, that front silver section, and this little duct there that houses the fog lights. These arches over here look rugged and mean, and so do the flares on the fender and the bonnet lines as well. You've got giant 275 45 21s over here that are pretty road biased. The other model, Pan Americana, comes with 20-inch wheels, and I suspect I'd want to go for those. Then you've got this step plate over here, and of course there are other options that you can go for if you want something a bit more rugged, but that does look good. As far as looks go, they've knocked this one out the park, and on this version over here, the Aventura, you get this very sleek, modern looking roll hoop over here as well. You've got an electric roll shutter at the back here, and this tailgate that is absolutely meaning business right now with a giant VW badge at the back there, and Amarok V6 4Motion. And look at this, plastic inserts around the light over there. There's just so much to look at and so much to enjoy. It's got 184 kilowatts and 600 Newton meters of torque. Yes, I know it's 6 kilowatts down, but you're not really going to notice that, especially not with that extra torque at hand. But let's take a closer look inside and then go for that drive. Inside, it is a spacious affair, and if I look a little bit bewildered, it's because I'm seeing this for the first time, much like most of you out there. Let's start with the steering wheel. It's the familiar VW steering wheel, and I've got to say I'm a little bit disappointed. I was expecting something more modern and new. Maybe an update will be coming later on. You've got a digital dash over there on this, the top spec Aventura model, and you've also got a very big vertical screen over here that has got high resolution and lots of speed. The other touch points and trim are familiar VW, but also a little bit familiar Ford. Of course, this is part of the joint venture between Ford and VW, and that does mean at the end of the day that we get a better bucky and the consumer gets better choices. In the center, you've got a console, cup holders, wireless charging, two different types of USB ports, thankfully, and a 12-volt socket as well. I do like this brushed aluminium section over here, and the switch gear feels very modern and nice, but there is something that I don't like too much as well. So let's talk about the Ford gearbox 10-speed unit with plus and minus signs on the side over here. And that leads me to my biggest dislike of the Amarok. Not the gearbox itself. I've always kind of liked the Ford gearbox in a bucky. But what I don't like is the way this gear knob feels. Short, stubby. And I think I'd get used to it if I spent enough time in it, but I do miss the VW gear lever and pedals on the old one. This one's got the Harman-Kardon sound system, which sounds bassy, full, and good. And historically, once again, Ford has had slightly better audio systems than other bucky counterparts. And here is once again another way that an alliance like this benefits the consumer. I also spent some time off-road in the Amarok, and with different tires, which I would recommend if you're going to be doing lots of off-roading, the Amarok is now exceptionally capable. It also feels like the chassis has been designed in such a way that it doesn't shake around like bakkies of old. And I tested out all of these drive modes yesterday, from 2H, 4A, 4 high, and 4L. All of these modes were tested out on a grade 3 or so 4x4 course, and the Amarok just coped incredibly well and dispatched the course with absolute ease, making a novice like me look good. Strategic alliances and technical partnerships have existed for many, many years in motoring. Think Ford and Mazda, Toyota and Suzuki. Is it going to matter that this bakkie has a couple of Ford parts under the skin, especially to the South African bakkie mad society? We'll have to wait and see. It is a big step forward from the previous Amarok, I think. And isn't that what Amarok fans wanted?